Hi, everybody. Going live. Give me a second here. Okay, I got that done. Where's my thumbnail? Got the right one. Anything else? No, it's not for kids. Save. Should be all I need. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. I think it's pretty warm outside. I'm ashamed to say, oh, I did go outside for half a second because my Stampin' Up order came and the guy put it around the other side of the, like, out the front walk and by the garage, so I had to go hunt it down. But other than that, I didn't go out today. I've been downstairs putzing around and doing all kinds of fun stuff, so I didn't have to go outside. All right, I got that. I think you're seeing me, it looks like. Oh, I got a new pop-up today. Oh, it's moderator. I don't know what that means. I don't have a moderator. Anybody want to be my moderator? Christy's on, Kathy's on, Mom's on. My newsletter was the cutest. What did I do that made my newsletter cute? Hi, Dawn. Christy and Mom, how's your weather today? Was you hot and yucky? All right, so you're seeing me. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers. And today is 15% off sale. If you're a demonstrator, you'll get either 35% off or 40% off by the time you get your discount added on. So if you need to order anything and you need help putting that order in, let me know when the video's over. I'll see what I can do to give you some help. It's just the stamps. Just the stamps are on sale till, what, 2 a.m. our time, which is midnight Mountain Time or Eastern Time here. So if there's anything that you need, good time to get it. Good time to stock up on those stamp sets that aren't with the dies, and just get some of that off your wish list. I'm going to use the I keep wanting to say next generation, but it's next destination. I got that to hopefully scrapbook my trip to Greece, and I just wanted to use it a little bit and see how it worked. So I have 3 cards, a little more work in each one, but not too much in any of them, actually. So I think that's it for all the housekeeping, and we just had the So Refreshing class. I'm going to get some of those cards posted. But for now, I have the So Refreshing class. The next one still up for order or RSVPing is the Cheerful Daisies, that class. Or if you just want the projects, that is on August 6th at 9:30 a.m. at my house. And that, I believe, is it for my housekeeping. And today, like I say, I've been down here goofing off today. Oh, good, the weather's been beautiful. I think we are, let me see. I think, Dawn, didn't we get really hot here today? 82 right now. No rain. But I have been working on these cards for tonight to get those done. And I did my newsletter today too. And that's, you know what, I don't know what else I did. I did all kinds of stuff because I got up super early today, but I don't, off the top of my head, I can't tell you what else I did. Oh, I got my in color stuff done, so everybody's all bagged up. But other than that, I don't know what I got done. But again, I've been down here pretty much all day. So what does that tell you? I'm going bonkers or something. Well, we all know I'm going bonkers, but yeah, looking around. Anyway, I don't know. I've been working on my market stuff too. If you got my newsletter, you know that I am going to the farmers market this week. So if you're around the Vicksburg farmers market, swing on by and check out my cards if you need a card or two. But that's it. You guys, I'm gonna quit rambling and turn my camera down here so we can get cracking on these cards. Again, I got 3 of them, but they're not anything difficult. And you guys let me know. I forgot, and I think I quit using it. I got this pad here from Christy and Kathy, got them at IKEA a couple years ago. And at one point I quit using it because of the glare from my cameras, but today doesn't look bad. So I just got to find out. I guess I just get a piece of paper to put over this if I need something to stamp on. And I do have scrap paper here. I need a cushy mat below for my stamp. So I think we're all good. And I'm going to try this silicone mat because the tape doesn't stick to it. So I'm going to try and use this. This is my host code. If you order in the next, I don't know how many weeks I'll keep this one open, but that's my host code. If you have an order under $150, please use that. And let me see. I think I got everything. I got nice, neat little piles, you guys. My bonkers brain should be doing okay tonight. I got nice, neat little piles of stuff. Here's my first card. I had this one sitting out when you guys came on Sunday, so probably saw that. Let me show you the set. Probably next destination. This is the set. Oh, let me get the glare off. This is the stamp set, next destination. And I'll use all these elements in the cards tonight. And this particular card also uses the Watercolor World. Both of these stamp sets are in the current catalog, and you could get them at 15% off today. They do not have any matching dies, so they're just plain stamp sets. And I'm going to make this card. My also challenge for myself was to use this wild wheat a little bit. And it's not good to say you don't like your products when you are trying to sell them to people, but you know, we all have our favorites, and these colors of the in colors, a couple of them are not my favorites. I find it very hard to use. I'm hoping that I'll use this a little more come fall. It might do really well for me with fall designs, but for now, that was a challenge for myself to use this color. And so I did. And we're going to start with, I don't need this yet. We're going to start with Pebbled Path, which is also one of the in colors. I've got a 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to fold it in half. So you can either score it at 5 1/2 or fold it in half and burnish on your fold real good. I've got a piece of the wild wheat at 5 1/4 by 4. And we will stamp the Watercolor World on that. And it's a red rubber. Did I bring a big enough block over? I don't need this with the red rubber. And let's see. This is not going to be big enough, but you guys, I'm going to make it work so that, or try anyway, so that I don't make you wait. Well, you know, that half a second it takes me to run over and get another block, but I'm not going to do that. So we will see if we can make this work. We all know that using the proper tools makes for a much better stamping experience. So what can happen and go wrong here, because my block is too small for this, I'm going to have to press down on these. So I could get this edge if I got ink on it. I could end up with partial images. I could end up with the design from the edge of the rubber on there, but we're going to see what we get. It's more fun to tell you what could go wrong than to actually go get the block and make sure it doesn't go wrong. So let's see, I'm going to go like this, kind of up and down. I'm going to push down, and then over here, because you know it's not big enough, I'm going to just give it a little press where I might have a little country that needs to get put on my paper. And I think we did okay. Might have got a little bit of the edge when we got down here, but I like it. It came out okay for me. So let me put that aside and put, oh, I did bring my cleaner too, so let me clean that off, because boy, these new in color pads sure are juicy. So I want to make sure to clean up any excess ink. And I added extra water to my cleaner pad. Speaking of juicy, it's probably going to be running out the edges. All right, so now we've got our world on our piece of paper, and we're just going to glue that on. Easy peasy. Got about a 1/4 inch border that I've left. Let me go this way. Probably eye it a little better. Recipient does not want that cat hair. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go that way just a smidge. Watercolor. Okay, so now we got our world stuck down there. We're going to take the Memento black, tuxedo black, and stamp our round suitcase with the camera and the notebook on the top. And this is also red rubber, so I don't need my foamy underneath. That reminds me of Red Rum from The Shining. That's about the only thing I remember from The Shining. Other than that, it kind of scared me. So there we go. I'm going to stamp that down. I fussy cut it out. And then I just am taking my Stampin' Blends in the wild wheat, and I colored it in a little bit. Just lightly kind of colored in where it wants to be dark. Colored it in a little bit more. And on this one, I did not color the lock. I didn't know what color to do it. I don't have like a silver marker or anything that I could have colored that in with, but just going to give that a little color there. And then I got my light wild wheat. And I'm just going to fill this in. Oh, and I think I told you guys, it blends better. I saw it if you go in circles. So we'll try and blend in circles. Plus maybe my camera won't jiggle as much if I go in circles. But you can blend out your dark into your light better and have a better control over how deep your color is. We'll see how that looks when we're done here. I'm going kind of quick, so Lord only knows how sloppy it'll be. I could have colored it ahead of time too, I suppose, but I didn't want you to miss out on all the fun. All right. So then I came back and let that dry for a second. Oh, I got to do the lid. Oh. Then I came back, I let that dry for a little bit. And then I came back with this light again, just in the areas that I had kind of gone with the dark, and put down another layer of the light color, and that will darken it up. Well, that's all I did. Put a little bit more of the light in there to give some of the areas a little bit more darkness. And then I might have used, I don't think I did anything on this band from what I can see over here. I did use my, did not bring it because I just am now seeing it. I did use my brown watercolor pencil on the handle. I'm going to try and use this yellow and see. It needs to be brown. But I did do it on my journal. I got my daffodil watercolor pencil and this one's Old Olive. And then I just went over them. I'm getting the lines from the mat on here. And you can take your watercolor painter if you want, or a paintbrush, and then just lightly go over that with minimal amount of water, and then that'll smooth all that out. But then pretend that this is my brown. I went over my handle a little bit with the brown, and like I said, I did not do the lock, but you could do the lock. You know what, no, I'm not gonna go get it. And I did my strap in the brown, but you could do the lock and the band in a light brown as well. And then I just popped that up on the front. And this one, you can see I left a little white border. I'm not so sure I like the white border on there. You guys like the white border or the other one without the white border? Now that I've started to cut that off. I think I kind of like it without the border. There's without it, and there's one with it. I'll go back and cut it off later because when I finish coloring. But I also have a strip of basic white, and I did the Enjoy Your Next Adventure from the stamp set in the Memento. And I'm going to put it about in the middle of my paper. And I put it on there crooked because my ink or my words are on my block crooked. But you guys know everything I do is crooked. You get something from me, just tilt your head. And then it might be straight. Tilt your head one direction or the other. All right, that looks a little bit better. Then I just came in and whacked them off. Like that with my scissors. And I popped that up next to the suitcase. Where's my big dimensionals? They are not over here, so we're going to have to use these little teeny weeny ones. I won't put too many of them on there. Just just enough to hold it in place. And I went over to the edge of the card, stick it down. And then, like I say, I got some dimensionals. I'm only going to put one on here so that I can take it off to finish it. And put it over the, you know what, you guys, I had a dream now that I see this card. I had a dream last night. I was making these cards with this wild wheat, and I got it all over I had a flouncy nice shirt on. And I was sad because the ink pad was so juicy, it kept like squirting on my shirt. So by the time I was done, I had like 5 stains on my shirt that I knew were never going to come out. Now, I have weird dreams, and I remember a lot of my dreams, and yeah, that's one of them. Okay, so you guys don't like the border, so okay, I'll cut that off when I finish that. And then on the inside, I got just the basic white, and I went through and stamped the backpack on all of them because it was kind of a afterthought. When I get creating, I don't always, like, I finish the outside that I'm going to show you guys. I don't always think to finish the whole thing, you know? So you can stamp on the inside. I left them all blank. Not real sure how I feel about coloring that backpack. Well, it's kind of like that suitcase thing there. It's a lot of space. And if you're not the best of colorers, it's a lot of space. So I didn't color the inner suitcases. But by all means, you can color your suitcases. So now there's the outside, and then I just stuck that on the inside. These are kind of masculine cards today, I think, too. These colors scream masculine to me, but you know, they don't have to be. So that's the first card. Set that one over there. Second card, just a little bit step it up kind of thing. Here's the second card using the same stamp set, The Next Destination. And my wild wheat, I ran through my Stampin Cut Emboss with one of the crosshatch, I guess that might be called, the crosshatch embossing folder from the Basics 3Ds that are in the online exclusives. There's 3 of them there. So for that one, I started with the same 11 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. I have a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of the wild wheat. And I think this one, I'm going to put the bumpy side down and just see if I like that. All the other ones, I got the bumpy side up. I'm making a swap card for backstage in Vegas, and it's got this on it, this crosshatch. And I should have probably done it this because I got to glue a bunch of stuff on it. I probably should have put it down, face down, but I stuck it up. So hopefully it'll all stick. I'm using the good glitter glue stuff that Dawn turned us on to. I'm using that to kind of hold it down and hold it all in place. So should be good. All right, so moving on. Then let me get this out of my way here. Markers and stuff from the last card. I just took some white paper, and had I been thinking ahead of time, I could have used this had I stamped it better. I got a piece of basic white, and again, I stamped the suitcase all the images, because I'm coloring them, I'm doing in the Memento. And I did this one off the paper because I'm going to only put part of it onto the card. So I thought it would be easier to punch it if I just had what I needed on there. So let me put the lid back on there. Now this suitcase I'm going to do in, let me get my stuff. I did this one in crumb cake. And I'll go through and I think I'm going to do, yeah, I'll go through and do some my dark stuff first. Here, feels like this tip is pretty knocked down. You can see it bending. I put this on my purchase list. And then I just went over some of these lines with it to, yeah. It doesn't want to come off and I don't want to press too hard. So I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm going to just go over here and do my little bit of this where it should be darker. All right. And then I came in with my, oh, you know, on this one, I did do the, I'll use the other end. I did do the lock in the dark on this guy. And I intentionally tried to leave a little bit of the white showing so I didn't fill in the complete lock and make it kind of disappear. So I did intentionally leave a little bit of that open so that when I came in with my, oh, I did my handle in the dark too. When I came in with the light, can't finish that thought, Joe. When it came in with the light, it would be visible. Go around in circle. Who's singing that song? I don't even know what it was. Something about the world goes round in circles. Gonna fly high like a bird up in the sky. Something like that. I don't even know. I'm gonna say that was before my day, but I know a little bit of it. It's not because I'm a well-rounded music person. I heard it at Patty's house. She's a well-rounded music person. I should have a cool smart. Well, in my dream, if I dream it again tonight, Dawn, I'll make sure that I have a cool smock handy somewhere that I can put on. Because I also have the same dreams over and over again. Years from now, what seems like years anyway, I will pick up and have same dreams. I'll be in the same places, same people are there, just weird. It's just really weird. Sometimes I pick up where I left off, so you never know. Maybe tonight my dream will be about these cards and I'll pick up where I left off. Maybe I'll take my clothes to my mom so she can get the ink out for me. Who knows what could happen? Because mom knows how to get everything out. So I got some boho blue there, and I'm going to try a little bit of the balmy blue and see if I can change that a little bit and give it some more definition to our. Now your camera, you could take a light gray and work on your camera if you wanted to. I'm going to leave that like that. And then let's see what I got me a whole slew of punches over here. So I think I cut this one out 2 3/8 is less than 2 1/2. So I got me a 2 3/8 inch punch that I'm gonna punch that out with. And then I got a piece of copper clay, and I'll go with the 2 1/2. Let me glue that on here first. Let's glue that down right up to the edge. And this one I think is going to have a little puny border because it's only like 1/8 of an inch. Yes. I think the other one I did a little bit bigger. So play with your punches and stuff. I think I ended up cutting this white down, and then I used my bigger. Let's see, can I do that? One punch. Okay, no, I'm not going to mess with it. So I went ahead and set that aside, and then I got my white, and I'm going to stamp the book on it and the sunglasses. Book. Sunglass piece. Okay. And then I'm just going to color those in with a variety of markers. So like this guy, and it's a guidebook or his passport or something here, probably a guidebook. Passport wouldn't have all these pictures in it. So I just put a little bit of this copper clay in here, just to help give some different colors going on. I got my boho blue, and again I'm just kind of come in here and give some color to this background. I got my balmy blue. I came in and did the whole, like the sky back here of this cathedral. I took my light crumb cake and I just did the cathedral with it and the surrounding. You know, you could do green and get your trees and stuff more pronounced if you wanted. Then I got a daffodil delight, dark and light, and I just kind of went over some of the items in there again, just to, like I say, just trying to highlight what's going on and fill them all in. Trying to add some color to the page. That's my intent. Just add some color in there. Well, let's put some yellow down here. And I think I went over this too, but you can't really see it. And then my crumb cake, I'm going to just color in the edge of the book. Then I have more punches. So this one I'm going to use a 2-inch punch. And it's probably too close to the glasses. I did not put that on there. So let's see. I'm going to go over here. Got a 2-inch punch. And then I got a 2 1/4 inch for the copper clay. Now, if you have dies, punches, Patty has a circle maker, all of which will work to give you the same. Then I glued that on. And then my glasses, again, I got my boho blue here. Color in the glasses. They're kind of tiny, but if you're proficient enough, know what you're doing, you can kind of shade them up light and dark. Get the, like these bows back here probably are different color. Then I got my copper clay, and I just tried to add a little bit. Boy, these new markers, this has got a point on it, I tell you. It's quite the point. I'm afraid to use it. So I'm just putting down some copper clay in different areas. Something to shake it up. And I'll come through with my light daffodil. And this one, I have a 1.5 inch punch and a 1 3/4 inch punch. Okay, so let's see. I maybe need to use guess we're going to cut it off. Those might not have been all the sizes that I used. And then I got a 1 3/4 inch punch to layer that one in the copper clay. And then I'm just going to pop them up on here. Kind of map out my design. And since I cut that off, I can. No, I would rather leave it cut off and cover up the white space. So I'll put them down there like that with some dimensionals, just so we can see what's going on. Oh. I guess I'm going to have to run over and, oh, here's some bigger ones. So I put that right up to the edge. You can go off the whole edge if you want. I just went up to the edge of the wild wheat. And then just start, tucking them in there. And this one does look a little goofy because it's not got a big enough border on it. Maybe I'll pop that off after and punch it one more time and get it to be a little bit smaller, because that's what I did. Now that I thought about it, I ended up cutting that sample down a little bit. Although it doesn't really look like I got much room to cut it down, does it? Well, I guess I do. I went right up to the edge. So I'm going to, this white here, I'm going to turn it a little bit and try and hide some of it. Don't really want that to show. So now we've got our layered look, and I've got a piece of white. That I'm going to stamp the Explore, Dream, Discover. It's all in a long stamp. Stamp it down toward the bottom. And I better clean that. It's getting a little bit tippy with all that extra stuff on there. And then I just cut this with my scissors and layered it on my copper clay, but you could also use your trimmer if you want to be a little more precise cutting. Actually, I think this is what I did. I lied. I did not cut with my scissors. I started to cut with my scissors and stopped. Now I'm just cut crooked. On there. We'll trim a little bit off this back side. Explore, dream. Discover, and I had originally just tried to glue them on like this. And I didn't think that it looked finished enough, so I did go through and glue them onto the copper clay, and this I cut with my scissors. So let's see. Discover. Concentrate. Dream. Ooh, I got that one on there crooked. I cut it crooked. I think one of them came off the cutter. If I don't press down hard enough with the cutter, it'll get all kitty wampus, and right at the very beginning, it'll shift. Okay. All right. These I just glued flat. We're gonna go explore, dream, discover. We're gonna dream up a little higher. There we go. And then now you could put some gems on this if you wanted. Some of those gold starish, forget what they were called, but they stood up and they kind of had a starburst look to them. They were a goldish dot. So, oh, This is the same thing. I have a white piece sitting here. I stamped the backpack on it. Again. Oh, Dawn dreams the same dreams too. That's nice. I'm not the only one. Good to know. Sometimes you wonder if things, does it happen to everybody? Or am I just, like, oh, I got something on that, but that's all right. We'll fix it. We can fix it, right? We can fix anything. Where's our sand eraser? I got some black on there. I don't know if I'm getting it on my hands. I'm getting it on this little mat or what, but I'll get it on. There we go. And this is just glue, but I need my glue remover to get on. Okay. So there we go with our second card. Set that one aside, and I'll bring in my third card. This one's a little bit more, I'm going to call it over the top. But it doesn't take too long. And it helps when you have everything ready to go. So this particular card, I've got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper. Score it, fold it in half either way, burnish that real good. And I have I'm using Very Vanilla on this one. So we got Very Vanilla in 5 1/4 by 4. And we are going to stamp on that. And this stamp, you guys, is called Off the Grid. I couldn't find, I didn't look too hard, but I know I've got retired paper that has a like grid marks on it, but I don't know if we have any current stuff that might have grid marks on it. So I knew that I had this Off the Grid stamped from, there's no year on it, so who knows when it's from. And so I grabbed that to use that to grunge up my background a little bit. So I'm just going to use my Wild Wheat, and I'm going to come in and just randomly stamp all over. And call it good. Let's see, I'll get a little piece over here. So much for random, huh, girls? All right, so now we've got that. And then I took my scissors and I just roughed up the side. I ripped it, but I don't care because I wanted it a little bit grungy looking. I could get out my tool from the drawer right next to me. Super old scratcher tool. Actually, we might have a scratcher tool now on the U-Pick tool. Might have a scratcher. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I think I had it out before. I think I showed you guys before, back in the day, Stampin' Up sold this little thing. Some little scissor cutter. This one makes a perforated cutter. This must be just a scoring one, it looks like. But this little guy here, you just drag it around down there. And it's got like razors in there. And it roughs up your edges for you. Scissors do the same thing. Edge of your ruler will do it. Any hard surface pretty much will rough that up for you. Let's see if I can get it. I wanted to get another tear in it, but I'm not going to purposely be able to tear it now. So go ahead and I'm going to glue that onto my paper. And it kind of does matter how you rough it. If you rough it like on a different side, the things curl a different way. The edges will curl. The roughness will like go under and not over. That makes sense. It'll be underneath and you won't see it as much on the top, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this down and then I'm going to take my fingernail and kind of pull it all up, or my fingers anyway, and just kind of pull it up. Probably could use a tool too. Let's see, my scissors. That's not going to work so much, but you can pull your edges up and help grunge it up a little more. Or, you know, just make sure you grunge it up before you glue it down to how you want. But there you go. I'm going to leave it like that. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, grungy. All right. Then I have a Misty Moonlight tag and an old olive tag that I cut out with the tailored tags dies. And I made the little tip that goes on it as well. Oh, what's my husband doing upstairs? So if you guys hear him up there, I don't know what he's doing, and I don't think we want to know what he's doing. So I'm going to, oops, it goes this way. I'm going to glue that down. Oh, he's getting strawberries. That was the plastic container I heard him opening. I'm going to glue that little tip on the tag. And this is, cuts right out from the dies that are in these. And I think they're still available. I got them in my still available box, but that doesn't mean anything because I put some from the weekend in my still available box that I know are no longer available. But I wanted them close so that I didn't have to dig through my stuff to find them. So I am using the infamous green glue, and I got too much and it's on my fingers and it oozed out. So that's not good. So then I glued this guy flat to the card. And kind of put it at a little bit of an angle. I'm not going to glue it down all the way yet because I do have my random twine that I probably got in a paper pumpkin kit or something. It's very thick. Maybe it was last Christmas. It's a very thick twine. I'm not going to call it like baker's twine. It's very thick and feels kind of rough. So I'm just going to put that on now. We can glue these down so that they're more trained, so to speak. That they're going to stick where we want them. I'm going to muddy up the ends. So I'm going to get one of those dots that I've got 1,001 sheets of. And I'm just going to stick one on the card. And then I'm going to bring these two strings over to cover up that little dot. And kind of be a little, not so obvious that it's stuck down, but at least it's going in a direction that we need it to go in. Now this one, I stamped directly on this, and I'm going to regret the fact that I just glued that little guy on there because in my sample, I realized that I needed to have the extra, just a smidge of space for this stamp. So if I go over onto that little tab, let's see, because I wanted to stay within the, all right, this is cut pretty close to the edge, so I might be all right. If I line up with the little dots on the tag, if I'm careful, the edge where all that was, I should have wiped that off. I got lucky, did not touch the tag. So now we've got that one done. I'm going to wait for a second to put that one on, but I will put the string on it. This one I did not glue down. But I did put it through there. And we'll see when we're done. It might need to get glued down. So what I got next is my little scrap pieces. I put the backpack on here in, oh, I gotta clean it off. And I put the backpack on in the wild wheat. And then that way it kept me from coloring the whole thing. Then I cut it out. I did not do this one ahead of time. I will go fast because we are winding down and I don't want to keep you here all night. I got on a little bit late because we ate a little bit later than we normally do on video night. We had a corned beef that we put in the crock pot all day. That was pretty tasty. Then I had to catch a segment on the news about that girl that I forgot where she's from, but she's saying she was kidnapped. She disappeared for like 2 days. So I have my own theories. So I just had to see what was going on with that. That was on Lester Holt's news. So also, I'm going to come right up next to this backpack and I'm going to cut the strap so that I can cut out this hole. There's no dies for this, so I'm cutting out this hole. And because I am going to glue it down and have stuff around it, I'm okay cutting the strap loose. You could always fix something like that. Glue that right up there tight with a piece of like double-sided tape. Just put a thin piece on the back so that it glues back into place, or use a little teeny piece of this and glue it back on. But I didn't need to glue it back on because I'm gonna tuck this on here. I guess I could start. I'm gonna start putting stuff on just so we're building as we go. So I'm going to put my backpack on next. I can look at my sample and see kind of what I'm trying to do here. And I won't stick them down too tight. So we got our backpack on. We got our next big adventure on. That a Pee Wee Herman, next big adventure. And then I got some Very Vanilla that I stamped the sunglasses on with. I'm just going to grab this block and I stamped them in black. And then I stamped the book. In black again. Not sure if that's going to fit on here. And why I don't care if it fits on there. Let's show you what I did. Let's see what we got. Okay, well, it fit, so it doesn't matter. This one didn't fit. I cut it all off, so that's why it's tucked in there all like that. Cut them in half. Quickly color again for you. I got the sunglasses are in, I believe I did them in copper clay again. Not again, the other ones are blue, but using the copper clay. Boy, that's a pointy marker. I like how fine it is. Maybe it makes up for the other end, the new ends on the other side are that kind of like that nub. All right, let's get a little bit on this bow. And then we did some of the dark daffodil where it was kind of dark on the card. Like that. I'll call that good. Came in with the light. And I'm just going to shade that in, but not all the way. Cut that out. Sorry, guys. I know you're here to watch, but I don't like all the. Well, someone's hollering. I don't know if they're outside. Mike's got his computer on that loud. All right. I got to get a hold of Reed, my daughter. We're supposed to go to the Ann Arbor Crafts Show this weekend. And I'm just not so sure. I guess we know how to get there, but she said there's like over 1,000 vendors, and I don't need to go see 1,000 vendors, but it might be nice to see fun stuff like that. I'll leave my checkbook home, my credit card home, because I think it's like a lot of it is art. It's art show. All right, so I'm going to tuck the sunglasses up in there, and then now we got the book again. So let's get some dark daffodil. This has got a weird tip on it too. Oh, looks like it might just be coming out. Let's get some dark daffodil in here. Random spots, nothing in particular. Quickly, let's get our blue, balmy blue for our sky. Get that copper clay back out again for the, I don't know what this is. I thought it was like a seal of something, but maybe it's words or something. And then we are going to fill it all in with a light, not that end, a light. I need crumb cake markers. Somebody remind me, I need to get light crumb cake markers at the next order. All right, I'm gonna call that good. And this one I also cut out. I did not mount these pieces though. They're just getting tucked in there as cutouts. There. My eyes don't want to focus. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to put a dimensionals on the back of that. And tuck that guidebook. Now I got this backpack piece, remember the free there? So I'm just going to tuck that right in behind the backpack and under this tag to have kind of an open concept there with that backpack. And then these, they look like they're going to cooperate and behave. So I'm going to leave them just like that. And then on the inside, I did not bring a piece of vanilla over here. But again, I'm just going to put a piece on the inside with the backpack on it. Finish it off. So there you go, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through all this. Here's our 3 cards we made. Again, and I appreciate you hanging out and watching. I went a little bit over my normal time, so I definitely appreciate you sticking around. That's it. I'm not going to go back to me. You've heard enough of me, and I will be back again next week. And until then, you guys have a great rest of your week, a great weekend, and I will see you back here next Wednesday. Take care, ladies.